All right, YouTube, it's your boy Alex Trains Chest back here for part number 23 of the injury progress update. So, really fast. Today I was able to do 30 seconds on the stability test, so that was a nice little accomplishment. That was the original goal I set out, was to hit 30 seconds on that, so that's legit. Other thing is, I think that I'm going to decrease the frequency of these uploads, so no longer going to do this every day. Probably going to do this like once, maybe twice a week, simply because I think I'm just like not seeing that big of incremental progress as I thought. I really thought that I'd be like completely done with the injury actually by now, but it seems to just be fluctuating a bunch, and I think that there'll be more significant changes over a week-long period than just every single day. Plus, I want to start getting back into kind of going to the gym a little bit after work, and so there's a time constraint there. But before I get into the measurements, I did want to show you guys some awesome footage I got from Tahoe. I was out there with a really great group of people, and that's where I was for the Labor Day weekend, and also why I got really distracted and wasn't able to take measurements, but that's all good. So not only will I show you guys the Airbnb and a really awesome hike that we went on, but also some of the food that we cooked for each other, barbecuing, hanging out, and I will show you some rehab exercises. So there's a lot of different topics, but let's just go ahead and get into it. Roll it. Rocking the REI hat. Actually, I'm all decked out in REI gear. REI.
We got real brand.
REI represent. What's going on, y'all? Just parked at the, I guess it's like called the Rubicon Trail or something like that. I can't remember the name of the national park, but I'll throw it up here. And man, it's real pretty out here. You can see behind me lots of redwoods. There's limited parking, so get out here early. And yeah, show you guys this chill hike. So one thing that might be worth talking about in this video is whether or not you should push through pain when you're training. If you're injured, you should try and do what you can, you know? Basically, if you don't provide your body with any stimulus, it won't change. Right now, with this injury I have, I can still walk, so get out here and go for a nice hike. What is up, everybody? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that hiking footage on the Rubicon Trail here in Lake Tahoe, California. Beautiful trail, epic views, insanely blue water, lots of stuff to do by the lake. So I'm just back here at the Airbnb hanging out, flying out actually today, back to San Diego. But I did want to tell you guys about a little stand-up paddleboarding / kayaking fail that happened this morning, and I wanted to give you guys some advice if you're trying to do that up here in Tahoe, especially if you're going to a spot called Sand Harbor. Okay guys, so if you're going to go out to Lake Tahoe and you're going to go over to Sand Harbor to try and do some kayaking or some stand-up paddleboarding, then definitely listen carefully to this message.
So if you make a reservation to rent a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard, basically they're going to give you this message. They say the park gates open at 8 a.m. and sometimes the park is full within less than an hour of opening. Now, I can tell you that's 100% true. So, if you're going to go to Sand Harbor, I would honestly plan on like getting there at 7:45, because if you don't get there at 7:45, what's going to happen is you're going to go here and go down this nice windy road to get to Sand Harbor, which is right here, and traffic is basically just going to stop you like way down over here, like 3 miles of where you need to go. And then what'll happen is you'll get here and you'll think, okay, great, I'm there. But no, the parking lot gets completely full. Now there's a sign out there that says whether or not the parking lot's full, so it warns you. But then you have to go all the way down to Incline Village right here. Now there's some this town is pretty chill. There's some good food and stuff like that, and then there's a shuttle that will take you basically from Incline Village to back over to Sand Harbor. So I had like an 8:30 rental. It was a half day. It was going to be for 3 hours. But by the time we got through traffic and everything, and then found out that a bunch of buses were down and stuff like that, I basically didn't have time to go get my 3 hour rental because I had to get back to the Airbnb to be at the airport. So I would definitely suggest booking a whole day for this Sand Harbor thing. So just in case you're not able to get there at 8 a.m., you can go to Incline Village, get your breakfast, and then actually what you can do is go park at these bike trails right here. And I believe this bike trail runs basically all the way back to Sand Harbor. And then you can pick up your rental there. And what's nice about that is the trail's really beautiful, and also you go through like a couple really like awesome little beach areas on this side of the lake. So anyway, that's that. Get there early. If you don't get there early, plan on it being like a whole day thing. This trail is really nice, so go ahead and walk the trail if you have to go to Incline Village, or take the shuttle, but I guarantee you the trail is going to be a lot nicer than the shuttle. So yeah.
Okay, so anyway, those are the tips for if you're gonna go to Sand Harbor. And if you stay up here in Tahoe, this Airbnb is really legit. I'm not gonna give like a full tour, but we used this barbecue last night, as you guys saw. There's a pool table in this room right here. Lots of bedrooms. There's a hot tub over here, which, by the way, this thing takes like 24 hours to warm up. So if you come out to this particular Airbnb, you find yourself here, warm up that hot tub for 24 hours. I'm gonna hop in there really fast just to chill out, and then I think I'm gonna do some rehab exercises, maybe out here on the deck because it's real nice outside. Alright guys, what's going on? So I'm gonna go ahead and demo two rehab exercises that I've been doing that have really been helping me out. Usually in a routine, what I'll do is I'll do a number of different exercises, but I'll do the exercise that I showed you guys in the previous video. I'll link that up here, something like that, and then I'll do these exercises in conjunction with that. So from the last video, I've got my resistance bands, and I've got the medium and the extra heavy, and I'm actually going to double these up together so I get a little bit more resistance. Alright, so as you can see here, I've got both resistance bands wrapped around my legs, and for all you engineers out there, you would know that two springs in parallel add directly together. So I'm going to get the resistance from the heavy and the resistance from the medium acting together on my legs. Now, this exercise is pretty basic. It's basically going to be a hip thrust, but with some added movement of the leg like this. Now the movement's kind of subtle, but when you get up into like the 20 to 30 rep range, you're gonna feel it. So basically I'm gonna get down on the mat like this. Now normally for a hip thrust, I might have my legs at about shoulder width apart. I'm actually gonna put them a little bit closer, maybe just about hip width apart. And when I go up into the movement, watch the position of my knees. So I'm going to put my hands on the ground, and I'm basically going to do a hip thrust movement But notice how my knees came a little bit outward like this. So I'm going to be down and then into the hip thrust. Down, into the hip thrust, expanding the knees out like that. Now what that's going to do is that's going to put a little bit more emphasis on those rotational those muscles responsible for rotation in the glute. So that's exercise number 1. Okay, so the second exercise I want to demo for you guys is going to be really simple, and you guys might actually think it's kind of laughable because it's a really basic exercise, but it's basically just walking. So the medium and the heavy resistance band that I showed you guys before are now wrapped around my ankles like this. This is a similar position when you're doing these side step exercises. So I'm going to go into the voiceover now while I demonstrate this particular exercise.
So again, guys, really basic. Essentially, you're just trying to do a nice, slow, controlled walk with the resistance bands at your feet. And after a while, this will actually kind of start to burn a lot of areas in your hip flexors and the hip joint. I try to do like 10 steps on each leg both ways and maybe go back and forth like twice.
So there you guys go. That's 2 additional rehab exercises that I've been doing that you can go ahead and maybe add to your own rehabilitation arsenal. I just want to emphasize really fast again that I'm not a doctor or PT. These are just things that have been helping me out that I think might help you guys out. I would say give them a go. Now, if you're experiencing a ton of pain and obviously this kind of stuff is making it worse, don't keep doing it. I wouldn't advise that.
All right, so going into the tests, and now it's present day, and sorry I'm jumping around a little bit here, and actually I'm going to jump back around probably at the end of this video just to give my friends a shout out, but here I got pretty low, but you'll notice there was like a ton of bend in my knees. So I don't necessarily know if I'd really count this as an improvement. And do I even lift? Not today. I decided I need to take a rest day. So no. Now we're going into the lay down raise test. And here again, I am able to get higher than I was before, but I do have a little bit of knee bend right there. So it's an improvement. I'll take it, but I'd really like to see that leg be able to get completely straightened out. So now the next thing that we'll go into is the stability test, just starting on the bad side again, speeding it up. And my goal for this was 30 seconds, and I was able to hold it for 30 seconds here too. So with that, again, I'm probably going to decrease the frequency of these uploads just so I'm able to see more progress in the standing hinge and lay down raise tests.
All right, y'all, I'm on my way to the Lake Tahoe airport, catch my flight back down to San Diego, but I just wanted to give a really special, warm shout out to the people that I hung out with this weekend, my friend for inviting me to her birthday party. It was super awesome meeting all you guys. I know there's other people in that group who I know from before, but the people who I met for the first time, it was awesome hanging out with you guys, talking with you guys, getting to know you. You're all really awesome people, so I just wanted to say thanks. And I really appreciate the invite, and hopefully in the future we'll get to hang out more like that as a group. That was really fun. So anyway, I actually got a little special treat for you guys, so enjoy. You know that, baby, I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi, baby, there's no other superstar. You know that I'll be your paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind, but I won't stop until that crew is mine. Baby, you'll be famous, chase you down until you love me. Paparazzi.